If you're in your 40s and you've noticed that your body has started working against you, you might be experiencing estrogen dominance. This is one of the most overlooked hormonal imbalances affecting women today, and it often masquerades as normal aging. The truth is, your hormones don't have to decline this way, and there are concrete steps you can take to reset them. If you want to understand what's really happening inside your body and discover the actionable strategies that actually work, I'd love for you to subscribe to this channel. We dive deep into hormonal health every single week. Estrogen dominance occurs when you have too much estrogen relative to progesterone in your system. This isn't always about having high estrogen overall. Sometimes it's about having low progesterone, which creates an imbalance. In your 40s, your progesterone production naturally begins to decline more rapidly than your estrogen, especially in the years leading up to menopause. This shift happens because your ovaries are producing fewer eggs, which means less cortisol luteum, and that's where progesterone comes from. At the same time, your body may be storing more estrogen in fat tissue, particularly if you've gained weight around your midsection. Your liver is also working harder to process environmental toxins and xenoestrogens, which are synthetic compounds that mimic estrogen in your body. All of these factors combine to create a perfect storm of hormonal imbalance. The symptoms of estrogen dominance are surprisingly varied, and you might not even realize they're connected. Many women in their 40s describe feeling like they're living in someone else's body. You might experience heavy or prolonged periods with significant cramping. Your breasts might feel tender and swollen, especially before your cycle. Brain fog becomes a constant companion, where you walk into a room and forget why you're there, or you lose your train of thought mid-conversation. Anxiety creeps in without a clear trigger, and your sleep suffers even though you're exhausted. You might gain weight, especially around your hips and thighs, even though you haven't changed your eating habits. Water retention becomes frustrating, and your clothes fit differently throughout the month. Mood swings intensify, and you find yourself irritable over things that wouldn't have bothered you before. Low libido becomes noticeable, and you might experience vaginal dryness. Bloating is persistent, and migraines or headaches increase in frequency. Hair might start thinning, and your skin breaks out in ways it hasn't since your teens. Fibroids, endometriosis, or PCOS symptoms might worsen. These symptoms don't all appear at once, and they don't look the same for every woman, which is why estrogen dominance is so frequently missed or attributed to simple aging. The first actionable reset is to understand your liver's critical role in estrogen metabolism. Your liver doesn't just filter toxins, it's responsible for breaking down estrogen so your body can eliminate it. If your liver is overwhelmed by processing alcohol, refined foods, stress hormones, and environmental toxins, it can't efficiently conjugate estrogen, which means estrogen gets reabsorbed into your bloodstream. This is called the enterohepatic circulation, and it's one of the primary mechanisms driving estrogen dominance. To support your liver, you need to reduce the toxic burden it's carrying. This means cutting back on alcohol, particularly in the evenings when your body is trying to repair itself. It means choosing organic produce when possible, especially for the dirty dozen fruits and vegetables that carry the highest pesticide loads. It means reading labels on personal care products and household cleaners and choosing versions without phthalates, parabens, and other endocrine disruptors. Your liver also needs specific nutrients to function optimally. B vitamins, particularly B6, B12, and folate, are essential for estrogen metabolism. Milk thistle and NAC, which stands for N-acetylcysteine, are powerful liver supporters that you can take as supplements. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and cauliflower contain compounds called indoles that directly support your liver's ability to break down estrogen. The second reset involves your gut health, which is deeply connected to estrogen levels through something called the estrobolome. This is the collection of bacteria in your microbiome that helps regulate estrogen. When your gut bacteria are out of balance, your body struggles to eliminate estrogen efficiently. A diet high in fiber feeds the beneficial bacteria that support healthy estrogen metabolism. This is why women with estrogen dominance often benefit from increasing their fiber intake gradually. Aim for 30 to 40 grams of fiber daily, but increase slowly over a few weeks to avoid digestive distress. Soluble fiber from foods like oats, apples, and ground flaxseed is particularly helpful. Fermented foods like sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir, and kombucha introduce live beneficial bacteria directly into your system. Prebiotic foods like garlic, onions, and asparagus feed the bacteria you already have. If you've taken antibiotics recently or your digestion feels off, a high-quality probiotic supplement can help restore balance. Avoid artificial sweeteners, which can damage your gut bacteria and worsen estrogen dominance. Limit processed foods and added sugars, which feed harmful bacteria and create inflammation that impairs your liver's detoxification abilities. Seed cycling is a third reset that's gaining recognition for its role in hormonal balance. This involves eating specific seeds during different phases of your cycle to support progesterone production and optimize estrogen metabolism. During your follicular phase, from day 1 of your period until ovulation, focus on flax seeds and pumpkin seeds. These contain lignans and zinc that support estrogen production in a balanced way. During your luteal phase, from ovulation until your period starts, shift to sunflower seeds and sesame seeds. These are rich in selenium and vitamin E, which support progesterone production and help your liver detoxify estrogen. Sprinkle them on salads, mix them into yogurt, or eat them with nuts as a snack. The amounts are modest, typically 1 to 2 tablespoons of each seed type during the relevant phase. When your cycle becomes irregular or stops due to hormonal imbalance, you can use the lunar cycle as a guide instead, using the new moon as day 1 and the full moon as ovulation. Movement and exercise play a crucial role in resetting estrogen dominance, but the type of exercise matters significantly. High-intensity interval training and excessive cardio can actually increase cortisol, which worsens estrogen dominance by creating more inflammation and burdening your liver further. Instead, prioritize moderate-intensity exercise, strength training, and restorative practices. Strength training is particularly beneficial because muscle tissue is metabolically active and helps regulate blood sugar, which indirectly supports hormonal balance. Aim for 2 to 3 sessions per week of resistance training that challenges your major muscle groups. Walking is underrated but incredibly valuable. 30 to 40 minutes of moderate-paced walking most days of the week supports lymphatic drainage, aids digestion, and manages stress. Yoga, particularly yin yoga and restorative yoga, helps reduce cortisol and supports your nervous system. High-impact cardio isn't off-limits, but it should be occasional rather than daily. Listen to your body's signals. If you feel exhausted rather than energized after exercise, you're likely doing too much intensity for your current hormonal state. Stress management is the fourth reset that cannot be overlooked. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, which triggers inflammation, impairs liver function, and actively increases estrogen production. When you're stressed, your body prioritizes cortisol production over progesterone, which deepens the estrogen dominance problem. This is why women often notice their symptoms worsen during stressful periods. Implementing a daily stress management practice isn't optional. This might look like 10 to 20 minutes of meditation or breath work each morning. Box breathing is simple and effective. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, exhale for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, and repeat for 5 to 10 minutes. Time in nature has measurable benefits for cortisol reduction. Even 15 minutes outside, ideally without your phone, significantly impacts your nervous system. Journaling allows you to process emotions and track patterns in your symptoms, which helps you identify your personal triggers. Consider working with a therapist or counselor if stress feels unmanageable, because sometimes professional support is the most efficient path to real change. Nutrition adjustments form the foundation of your reset. Beyond the liver and gut support already mentioned, certain foods directly worsen estrogen dominance, while others actively help reduce it. Foods high in omega-3 fatty acids, like wild-caught salmon, sardines, and mackerel, reduce inflammation and support healthy hormone metabolism. Hemp seeds, Chia seeds and ground flaxseed provide plant-based omega-3s. Reduce your intake of conventional beef and dairy products if possible, because commercial animal products often contain added hormones that compound the problem. Grass-fed meat and organic dairy when you can. Minimize refined carbohydrates and processed foods, which spike blood sugar and insulin, creating inflammation that impairs your detoxification pathways. Focus on whole grains like quinoa, farro, and brown rice. Avoid or minimize phytoestrogens if your estrogen dominance is severe. While phytoestrogens from soy, flaxseed, and legumes are generally healthy, sometimes when you're actively working to lower estrogen, reducing them temporarily helps. Work with a practitioner to determine if this applies to your situation. Adaptogenic herbs like ashwagandha, rhodiola, and holy basil support your body's ability to manage stress and balance hormones. These can be consumed as teas, tinctures, or supplements. Supplementing strategically can accelerate your reset. Calcium D-glucarate supports your liver's ability to eliminate estrogen through a process called conjugation. DIM, which stands for diindolylmethane, is derived from cruciferous vegetables and directly supports estrogen metabolism. Magnesium is depleted by stress and is essential for progesterone receptors to function properly. Many women are magnesium deficient, especially in their 40s.